Good evening, everyone. Today is March the 3rd, 2024. We will start our meeting off with a moment of silence and the flag salute. This is to advise those present at this March 3rd, 2026 regular board workshop action meeting of the Board of Education of the City of Pleasantville and the County of Atlantic that notice was given on February 28, 2026 as required by the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975. Notice thereof has been distributed for publication in the press, posted in the administration building, and forwarded to the city clerk of the City of Pleasantville within the time required by said act. Roll call, Ms. White. Ms. Akins? Here. Mr. Gibson? Ms. Harris? Present. Ms. Morgan? Right here. Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Here. Ms. Rowell? Here. Next, 1.5. Before we do 1.5, we have Jenna Cook sitting in for Ray today because he was unable to be here. She's already over. Next is 1.5, public comments. Agenda items only. Anybody have the list? Have the list? We ask when you come, we cannot speak on personnel matters. We can't speak on sensitive matters. We can't speak on any grievance matters. We ask when you come to please be courteous and respectful to the board. First, we have Mr. Jonathan Diego.
Good evening, President Rowell, Vice President Silver, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and Superintendent Martinez. Referring to, I believe it's subject 3 regarding vacancies or reported vacancy. I've been very intimately aware and involved with regarding what's been leading up to this point. I think everybody here understands that on December 16th, member of the school board, Erwin Moreno Rodriguez, was duly appointed, sworn in, and has taken a seat and served with this in a distinguished way for the past few months. And I do understand that there's some members of this board that believe that it's necessary to review and re-interview individuals. I would respectfully submit that right now there's open litigation regarding this issue. There's open litigation dealing specifically with this issue with the assignment judge in Atlantic City. And there's going to be a full hearing regarding this allegation on or about April 16th. I don't believe that this body has statutory authority or authority under case law or any rules or regulations or administrative code sections that would allow it to remove a duly appointed member of this board. Now, if we want to wait until April 16th and see what the assignment judge does or does not do, once all the applicable laws are reviewed, once the applicable facts are reviewed, then we can have a decision made by a judge based upon the rules of law and the facts and the totality of the circumstances, not based upon anything else. And I'd also respectfully submit that if the judge does not decide in a way that people are satisfied with, the appropriate and correct venue would be with the Commissioner of Education, not with this panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diego. Next we have Alexander. Is that the name? Alexander? Yes.
Good afternoon to the Board of Education, Pleasantville. My name is Alexander Mendoza. I've known Urban quite some time, not only as a student, but as a community organizer for Pueblo Unido, and I've seen the positive effect he has had on students. Right behind me are a group of students from all different walks of life, even some students including from Pleasantville. These are students who are organized, who are part of different clubs like Mexa, Guasa, all walks of life. Urban has impacted positively. He's always been there as a mentor, as someone students can talk to relate. And there's even a few Pleasantville students, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to put them in the spot, but he has seen these kids and he has taken them in and mentored them and showed them higher education. As someone who's a Latino, as you see behind us, as minorities, it's tough for us to fit in college. And Urban has taken all of us under his wing, and he has taught us to be respectful, to appreciate education, and to keep fighting. And that's why we're here to support him, to show that Urban has an impact in every walks of life, from his community organizing, from Atlantic City to Pleasantville, to his work at Stockton University, and even as just being a friend and family member. That's why it's important that Urban stays in the Board of Education to represent not just Latinos, but students who sometimes feel left out. That's why Urban is very important to us, and that's why we're here to support him. Because he would do the same for everyone. He's always someone who would let us walk into his office when we need anything. Financial aid, whatever it be, Urban's there for us. We as students want to be here for him, and we want to show that Urban has a real impact on all of us. And that's why, not just because of his qualifications, but him as a person, as an educator, and as a human being has affected all of us positively. And that's what I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. Johnson.
No comment at this time.
Next we have Allison. Okay. Next we have Mr. David Calloway.
Is this just for agenda items?
Yes. How long is this going to be before she gets back? She coming right back? I'll make room, we have to move on, but I'll make room towards the end. Next we have 1.6.
Madam President, before we get started, the board took action last meeting when everybody decided not to show up. And I'm trying to find out why none of the actions in this agenda today that we took. With that being said, I make a motion that Mr. Moreno be removed, and we do the process like we were supposed to do today with the interviews with all the candidates.
Ms. Sanchez, we were going to discuss that.
It's a motion on the floor. It's a motion on the floor.
We're going to discuss that, I'm sorry. And we're going to tell you why.
The board took action last meeting.
Right, but the board took action.
Second. It's a motion on the floor, it's been second. The board took action last meeting. I've seen the people are here in the crowd for the interviews, because that's what was said was going to be done.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. We're going to let the legal weigh in on this, Mrs. Sanchez.
I'm confused. It's a motion on the floor, and it's been second. It should be a roll call. It's a motion on the floor, it's been second. It should be a roll call. No matter who weighs in. It's a motion on the floor, and it's been second.
Ma'am, if I may, my name is Jenna Cook. I'm here for Mr. Allen's stead, who is your normal board solicitor.
Speak into the mic because I can't hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. My name is Jenna Cook. I am here in place of Mr. Hanlon this evening, who is unable to appear as the board solicitor. I have worked as the labor counsel for the board for the past year. I am familiar with the issues relating to the election and appointment of Mr. Moreno, as well as the pending litigation and all of the recent action of various members of the board. You're voting, or you're requesting a motion and seconding a motion to remove Mr. Moreno. And I understand there are a lot of positions here and potential competing interests. However, removal of a sitting board member is governed by New Jersey law and New Jersey statute. And there are 7 specific instances which permit removal of a board member. Those include if they're not a bona fide resident, a member becomes a member of a public body, they're disqualified from voting, a false declaration or conviction of a crime, removal by the Commissioner of Education, a recall under the Uniform Recall Election Act, or a member fails to attend 3 consecutive meetings with notice and a proposed removal of the meeting prior. None of those circumstances exist here. I understand
With
that.
all due respect, I don't deem that to be correct. I think you're incorrect in that manner. The board put a motion on the floor. We created action last meeting. We put a motion on the floor and it's been second. We're just waiting on roll call.
And I have a question too. You're reading the reasons why a board member can be removed, but I didn't hear not one time it being mentioned if the process wasn't done correctly.
And the board admitted the process was not done correctly.
Yes.
On record.
I'm sorry, you both spoke at the same time.
It's the same.
But I missed part of it. What was the last section?
If
Board
the process
admitted
was
the
not
process.
done correctly, when
We actually violated.
when appointing someone to the board.
Well, I understand that there was a meeting and an assertion that the process under the Open Public Meetings Act was not followed. However, that no reason was given how that occurred, and therefore that is not a reason for removal of a board member. The judge sitting in this matter, Judge Shepard, did issue an order refusing to allow a stay of the litigation in the midst of the action that you are all going to take a week or so ago before the snowstorm. And she did mention in there that there could be a corrective action under a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. But there has to be a violation, and that violation I won't interrupt you, I promise. That violation has to be demonstrated for action to be taken to correct that measure. What I believe the process that is being argued right now is that there was someone that was not interviewed, and that as a result of that, there's an expectation that there would be a redo or a corrective action for that person who was not interviewed. That is not a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. That is what you would all argue, I believe, as a procedural issue. That very issue is pending before the Superior Court, and the judge that governs all of the matters in the Law Division in Atlantic County. when that judge makes a decision, if that judge should decide that a procedural irregularity occurred, then that judge can enter an order which would make that determination. There is a process that's being engaged right now. It's called discovery. And in that process, both parties or all the parties are engaging in an exchange of information so that at some point the court can make a determination based on all the facts before it, whether there was a procedural violation or an Open Public Meetings Act violation. If you were to act now, while that is pending before the Superior Court, any action that you take, my legal opinion is it is a violation of New Jersey law, and also you risk, first, that any action you take could be undone, meaning if the board with a new member or you voted to, I can't stop you from doing it, obviously, but if someone else was put in place, any voting you did could be undone, any action you took could be undone. And if you want that process to be reviewed, there's a judicial venue for that. And you may get exactly what you want, but you may not. And at this point, those facts have to be developed through an exchange of information before the judicial body so that someone can make a determination of whether there was a violation of your own policy or a violation of some other law, rule, or regulation. And then if there is, the judge will give a disposition and a remedy for that. But doing that now subjects you to having everything undone, but it also, as a board, subjects you to potential litigation, which is an expense that you don't, my belief is that you would want to avoid, that there's a process in place for this type of problem, and that if you go outside of that process, anything you do is likely to be void and also very likely to be undone.
Can I, well, 1 second. I appreciate how long-winded you were in your explanation, and I respect your expertise as a lawyer past the bar. But I sat in on that hearing, and the judge also said if the board felt that we did something wrong, we wanted to correct it on our own, we could.
I read that in the order, ma'am, and it did specifically...
It said we could correct it.
It specifically related to an Open Public Meetings Act violation.
And we violated it. And we admitted to it, and we voted on it. And it's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded.
Are you with the Brayham law firm?
Am I with who?
The law firm that you're sitting in for?
I'm not.
What law firm are you with?
I have an office. The office is of General Cook.
Oh, okay. No, your name sounds familiar when someone comes up to say that people don't appear for the hearings and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I was with the right person.
Can I ask a question? Sure. Pertaining to what we're talking about. So if the judge is allowing us to fix it, why can't we just fix it? Why do we want to keep going into the court and we're just trying to fix something ethically and right? Why wouldn't our board attorney, as you sitting in a spot, just agree that let's just fix it? Nobody is saying that. We just want to fix the situation. We want to always look right in front of our people. In front of everyone. We want to look right. We don't want to look like we just do stuff just to do it. Pleasantville board. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, why can't we just ethically, in our spirit, fix it? Why do we want to go in front of a judge consistently and then, or we're trying to fix it? I don't understand.
Because the judge said in the hearing that we were able to fix it.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
The judge stated in the hearing that if we were at liberty to fix it, she would advise for us to fix it if we could, instead of create more litigations.
So the judge said that if we can fix
The board voted to fix it, let them fix it.
Okay.
Ms. Sanchez, I have a question for you. I
I
understand what you're saying. So how do you unseat a board member that's already seated?
See, this is the thing. And he may. I just met when he got here.
Right.
So, of course, I did my own research on him. He may be the best fit. From what I heard last time, probably is. All I'm asking, and I'm going to speak for myself, not everyone else, is it be done the correct way. We had a gentleman come here who was the first applicant. We had another gentleman who's sitting right there, Mr. Page, who wasn't even told to come. He just happened to show up that day. He didn't even know his interviews that day. So we're just asking for the process to be done over and correctly because you know it was flawed. You know it was done incorrectly.
But my question to you, Ms. Sanchez, is how do you unseat?
How do
a
you
board
not,
member?
if a sitting
But how
judge
do you-
told us that we can
But,
take a few steps back and redo the process? How do you not?
but I'm asking you a question, Ms. Sanchez. Did the judge say to unseat him? That's what I'm asking.
How must we do the process?
But you can't-
It would start from scratch, correct?
But how do you unseat a board member?
You vote on it.
You can't.
The
you
motion's
can't-
on the floor, it's been seconded, you
Right.
vote on it.
I'm asking
Just
the
like you guys
question,
do
how
whatever you want,
unseat?
whatever you want, whether it's in the best interest of the district or not.
Right, but
We're just trying to fix a wrong. We're just trying to right a wrong and do a process correctly, that's it.
Listen, I just want to know, how do you unseat
Put
a
a
board
motion on the
member
floor.
that's been
It's been
seated?
seconded, and you roll call, and you see.
That's
results
all,
of it.
that's all I'm saying, because if you do that, then we're looking at legal.
Guess what? That's what we all do.
That's what we do.
If we just do things right the first time, we wouldn't have no issues.
But we did do it right the first
It
time.
was
We
not,
didn't
and you know,
violate the open
Ms.
public
White
meeting.
also admitted on record that it was 2 other people that applied, and not even got a phone call to
Okay,
come.
well, you said we violated the Open Public Meeting Act, but we did violate the Open Public Meeting Act. I believe we advertised and did everything correctly. So
And
I'm just trying to
and
figure out how
skipped
we.
over everybody that
Step
applied.
down those problems. No.
Yes.
In regards to-
Not the proof, that we have the proof, it's printed, the emails are printed, the dates are on the emails. We can't dispute that something was done flawed. So why not as a board and as a collective whole, do we not just fix it?
Madam Chair, I have a point of order. Why are we
How
discussing
do we
this?
unseat him? That's
Why are
what
we discussing this,
I
Madam
don't know.
Chair, when this is open litigation?
Right.
That's the
you're
point
right.
of order.
It openly,
You're right.
the judge stated
Yeah,
that
you're
the
right.
board was at liberty to correct it, they should correct it. That's why.
Open litigation is open litigation. It's not closed.
For the record, regarding the application I received, I did receive the application for Mr.
Can I
Kennedy
just
Johnson.
pause for a second? I'm going to caution everyone that this, you do not want to argue facts that are in dispute or that are relative to the litigation. What I was providing an overview was the law itself, not facts as I know them to be or not to be. My recommendation, and I believe that because there is pending litigation, any conversation has to be conducted in executive session. And that no factual testimony type information should be set forth here. This is a recorded proceeding, and that's for all of your benefit.
So we should need to pull our motion back.
Go to the next
Pull yours back and make a motion to go into executive session and have this discussion.
I'll pull my motion,
I'll pull the second
and
back.
I'll make a motion for an executive session.
And I'll second it.
Question about that? Roll call, Ms. White.
Yes. Higgins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes. What happened to heat? Last week we were.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Rowell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
What happened to heat? Last week we was burning up.
That's what I say. When you guys come, I like you guys coming strong.
Testing. May I have a motion to come out of executive session? Motion by Mrs. Morgan, have a second? second by Mrs. Silver. Any questions? No questions? Roll call, Ms. White.
Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Roel?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is 1.6, I just wanted to put on the record, we had discussed legal matters and personnel in the past. Next is 1.6, I'm sorry, to the resolution.
Be it resolved that the Pleasantville Public School District hereby agrees to reinstate Mr. Wayne Leggett with a 45-day suspension without pay.
Roll call, Mrs. Roll call. Oh, may I have a motion? Sorry, for what? What's the motion for? For the resolution. Read it again, Ms. White, please.
Be it resolved that the Pleasantville Board of Education hereby agrees to reinstate Mr. Wayne Leggett with a 45-day suspension without pay.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Sanchez. May I have a
Second.
Second by Mrs. Harris. Any questions? No questions? Roll call, Ms. White.
Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan? Mr. Rodriguez?
No.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Roel?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolved that the Pleasantville Board of Education hereby approves the terms of the stipulation of settlement between the Pleasantville Board of Education and former district employee Christina Atua, and authorize the president of the Pleasantville Board of Education to execute the said stipulation of settlement on behalf of the Pleasantville Board of Education. A copy of said stipulation of settlement as approved by the Pleasantville Board of Education at this meeting will be on file in the office of the Board of Education's Business Administrator's office.
May I have a motion by Mrs. Sanchez. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs.
Before you do roll call, can I make a statement?
Yes. Oh, wait, let me get the first and second.
We did.
Oh, you did, okay. on this one.
Can I make a statement?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
I just want to put on record that this board, with the recommendations of the attorneys, kind of had no choice in this matter. It would have cost us probably 4 times this amount. We're kind of binded by previous actions by previous people sitting on board. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez. Roll call.
Ms. Akins? Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Abstain.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Roel?
I'm only doing it for the good of the school and the district, yes.
Motion carries.
I have one motion. I need a motion, for the board to take no actions to remove Mr. Moreno or take anything regarding which his appointment as a board member until the board decides to see fit in this matter. May I have a motion?
Can you say it?
Until April.
Can you repeat what you said?
Motion for the board to take no action to remove Mr. Moreno or take any actions regarding his appointment as a board member until the board decides to take action in April the 16th. Rodriguez, I'm sorry. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan. May I have a second? Second by Ms. Silver. Questions?
Where did that just come from?
The lawyer.
Why didn't we just, what?
Wait a minute, why are we just discussing this in the back? And we're bringing it out here without discussing it?
Okay, we're gonna retract that.
I'll put my motion back.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Morgan. Who seconded? Okay, who was that? Okay, great, so we're done with that. Okay. Next, we have 1.6, comments, president's comments. I just wanna, tell the board, if you should have received a progress report from Dr. Marilyn Martinez, from her progress of what she's done in the district for 2.5 years. So if you get a chance, you should read it. It's very interesting and very informative. Okay. Next, we have board presentations, 1.7. Can we make sure this is submitted into the minutes as well?
Oh, the super, this report, okay, if you want to put it to the minutes for this meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks. Next, we have our board attorney's presentations. Okay. We're going to start with
that three board attorneys been fired for labor. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with presentations for board attorney. We'll start with Ann Adams, Laborde, Cruz and Herman, LLC. Is Mr. Brown here from Adams, Laborde, Cruz and Herman, LLC? The next would be Bush Law Group.
Good evening. Good evening. President Roel, Vice President Silver, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Pleasantville, and Superintendent Martinez. Danielle Pantaleo, I'm counsel at the Bush Law Group. With me is Megan Odelia. She is an associate at Bush Law Group. Megan and I are here to represent the firm. We do special education work and general education work, as well as all student matters, including institutional investigations, public contracting, in-service training presentations. I will tell you a little bit about myself. I've been practicing general education and special education for approximately 15 years. My specialty is in special education. I give advice to directors of special education. I do all disciplinary matters, student discipline. I conduct disciplinary board hearings. I also cover board meetings, but that's Megan's specialty. And I really take pride in when we're in litigation. I've done a lot of litigations in due process and mediation. And I take pride in the taxpayer money that we have. I don't settle cases easily without being hard fought, and I treat the taxpayer money as if it were my own. So we're really cognizant of your budget, of the time and expense. The Bush Law Group has 16 attorneys. We practice in all areas. You'll see we also apply for the labor and employment. We have expertise, we have great wide experience, and we're responsive. We have a personal relationship with the board and with the members of the administration. In this day and age, when it comes to cell phones, texting, emails, you can always get us, you can always reach us, and we're responsive. I'll let Megan speak a little bit about the GC stuff and then take any questions you may have.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. My name is Megan Rubella, and I have a background in public contracting, so I used to be in public contracting in the city of New York. So that's the first time when I'm here in the Bush Law Group. So with my public contracting background, I am very careful about what bids go out, how they're responded to, and make sure that the boards are doing everything based on the law and making sure that what is happening is legal and does not go against the school board public contracting law. And do you have any questions for me? I am a former board member. I sat on the board for about 20 months, and I went through a litany of different issues with the board. I have been representing a few different boards. We have over 100 boards at the firm, so we are very efficient. We are very responsive. We make sure that we are experienced. We do everything when it comes to special education. That is all the firm does. So if you have any questions for us, we will be happy to answer them.
No? All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Parker McKay?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Catalano from the law firm Parker McKay. We are a multidisciplinary firm with 50 attorneys. I have 9 attorneys in my school law department and 5 attorneys in my labor and employment department. We have been serving public entities in New Jersey for over 100 years and we continue to provide great service to those public entities because we know how important they are. I want to thank you for volunteering to be board members because it is not an easy job. You guys face criticism constantly from everywhere, whether it be the taxpayers or any of the other stakeholders of the school district. You guys have a thankless job a lot of the time. And as solicitor and board attorney, it is my job to help you perform that job to the best of your abilities and with all of the ethical duties and canons that are provided by New Jersey law. Now, I have a little bit about me. I attended Cornell University at the Industrial School of Labor Relations, studying the world of work and how to get to consensus and how to negotiate and mediate disputes. I went to Cornell Law School, spending time in the labor law clinic, again, focusing on resolving disputes, mediating, and getting people to consensus and to say yes. Afterwards, a lot of my colleagues went to work in judgeships and clerkships across the state. I worked with the National Football League and negotiated the player lockout collective bargaining agreement in 2011. After that, I decided to come back to my hometown, South Harrison Township, right around Hollywood, New Jersey, and decided that my services were best needed back at home, servicing public entities across the state of New Jersey. Given the honor to represent the Pleasantville's public schools as your board attorney, I will make sure that my duty is to ensure that our students here have the best education that the Board of Education can provide, that your administrators are properly counseled to make sure that everything is taken care of, that when there is a dispute between board members or amongst board members and the administration, that we handle that with the proper forum that is necessary. I try to believe that brevity is the most important thing, and I try to explain everything I do with a practical sense of language. So I try to do that because I understand that my time is valuable, and any dollar that comes my way is paid by the taxpayer. And that is a duty that I take greatly seriously. So if you have any questions for me, I would love to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions? How many school districts do you service?
We service dozens of school districts across South Jersey, from Burlington all the way down to Cape May. I want to say we service close to 40 or 50 school districts. I will tell you, though, that if I am your board attorney, that I will be at your meetings pending any sort of emergency situation. I am the father of 2 under 2, so obviously sometimes children, get sick, but other than that, it will be good.
No one has any other questions? Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time and consideration.
You're welcome. Labor?
Now we can move to labor because Mr. Hammond's not here today. He's still.
Okay.
So for labor specialist, the Bush Law Group, are you coming back up or you want to come back up? Okay.
Thank you for giving us more of your time. So in labor and employment, I do work on this as well. I'll do Title IX, Title VI compliance. I've done, administrative leave, tenure charges, some of the focus on personnel matters, employee disciplinary matters. We also do professional development training, in this regard. Our firm has an excellent collective bargaining negotiations, Ari Schneider. He's really one of the best in New Jersey. Megan, do you have anything to add to the labor?
I've worked with Mr. Schneider and I've helped him with some collective bargaining agreements, making sure that we, from the beginning to the end, without having to go to arbitration or mediation, making sure that
perspective accounted for and all of their needs are heard. So we make sure that we get from the table to the paper to make sure that it's, without having to spend extra district resources. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Law offices of Jenna Cook.
Yes.
My name is Jenna Cook. Some of you know me for the first time this evening. I have been a practicing lawyer since 2001. All of my legal expertise and experiences come from Atlantic County, New Jersey, and Cape May County, New Jersey. I have represented municipal governments, school boards, both private and public, in all aspects of labor and personnel issues, including litigation, appearances before various administrative boards. I've negotiated contracts for private and public entities, including the Atlantic City Convention Center, in terms of multi-million-dollar contracts for services and purveyors of goods. I have successfully resolved multiple litigations for persons against school districts, and also resolve matters pending litigation on behalf of school districts with those persons. I am a sole practitioner. I get to decide what cases I take and don't take, and I get to decide what clients I take and I don't take. That makes me, I think, uniquely qualified. I live here, I work here. You will see me around here. I can come when needed. I can answer the telephone when needed. For those of you who have had experience with me over the last year as appearing for our law firm as labor counsel, I believe you would understand that I have been completely responsive to all phone calls, questions, emails from both the administration, the board president, and various board members when I lived here. As I said, you get me. I'm a hometown girl. I grew up most of my life in Atlantic County, in Egg Harbor City and Egg Harbor Township. I was a prosecutor in Pleasantville for many years, so although most people don't find a prosecutor to be a person that understands the community very well, I developed programs here for persons that needed resources, and I am very familiar with the nuances of this community and the needs of the community. I think that's probably it. For those of you who have any questions, please ask.
I have a question.
A question for the PA. You sent us a letter February 20, you said she rescinded. What?
Yeah, Miss Jenna Cook originally sent me a
I know,
letter.
but we don't just change our mind and then you tell us the day up. Like,
Stated
you got
that-
emails?
Yeah, she rescinded, but then because she submitted her proposal by that date, but then she said she didn't want to rescind, so.
I have a couple of questions pertaining to, maybe this might not be the right forum for it. I know we've been hearing that she was representing, supposed to be doing the arbitrations and wasn't showing up for the arbitrations, was canceling or not showing up for the arbitrations for the things that we have. So can you explain what was going on pertaining to that?
Can you give me a specific arbitration?
I'm going by, every time we have a meeting, our teachers union
Ms. Watson?
president comes up and asks us why haven't someone came for the arbitration for the staff and they wanted to come back to work. And it was stated that you didn't know that you were still employed or not employed. Can you give us?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I know where that came from. I'm assuming that came from Ms. Watson's matter with it, which was an unfair labor practice matter. There was not an arbitration scheduled. It was a procedural meeting in advance of a hearing before PERC. I have been here. Mr. Carroll had the contract with the school district. I have been in his stead as he is not regularly in Atlantic County. At the time that unfair labor practice hearing was, procedural meeting was scheduled, I was out of the country in Colombia. I had no access to, or very limited access to email or text or phone. I did have that on my responsiveness, my responsive automated response to my emails. And in fact, when I had good service prior to that procedural meeting, I did email the gentleman from PERC and advised him that I was out of the country, did not have access to anything, and that the board had not yet reappointed or made its appointment of labor counsel. At that time, it was scheduled for January.
Right.
So the PERC representative apparently emailed Mr. Carroll directly, not me, or if she did, or if he did email me, it was sent, I was out of the country, which I had said, and when I came back, I got a phone call from Ms. Jenkins asking if I was appearing. I advised them that it is never been my practice to not appear for something ever in my entire years of practicing law, and that although I was not at that moment prepared because it was not on my calendar as it should have been, and was not handled by me personally, that I would immediately seek to address the matter on its substance with the district and respond to them. And in fact, I hung up the phone, I reached out, discussed the matters of the unfair labor practice. I spoke to the attorney for Ms. Watson separately for about 10 minutes. We came to a resolution, and I proposed it to the board, which was accepted. I negotiated that without further need for appearance before the PERC board. That is the singular time, I can tell you, in my entire legal practice, that I've ever not been somewhere where someone expected me to be. And I did explain to the PERC representative that I had been out of the country, that I did not receive his email rescheduling it for that date and time. I apologize that is not my practice, and that anyone in this community that knows me knows I am an absolute rule follower. I don't take my responsibilities lightly. I do have things that I have to attend to every single week. I appear in court weekly. I do not submit things late. I do not fail to attend to things. My phone rings, I answer it. And this was an isolated situation, which I can understand is concerning for you.
Right.
But it was isolated, and I attribute it to the fact that I was working to fulfill Mr. Carroll's obligations, and that email came to him, or it was in the middle of nowhere land while I was in Colombia on the side of a mountain with no access to cell, and it was not on my calendar. Additionally, there have been matters that have been pending arbitration. One of those, for example, is a tuition reimbursement matter. That matter has been scheduled and adjourned because there are, what became apparent is there are over, I believe, 50 separate claims or issues that need to be addressed. And if I began the work to prepare for an arbitration, and in January, this board appointed a different labor council, all of the work I did would have to be duplicated by the new council. With their point of view, they would have to speak to all the administration again, review documents all over again to prepare for that. And from my point of view, as has been said by many, this is a district, like every district, whose dollars count. I was not going to bill for the sake of billing to get time in for something I was not certain I would appear to process on behalf of the board. And to me, that's significant cost savings, which I can tell you is several $1,000s minimally to address every single one of those claims, placement on the salary guide, what retroactive money is due or not due. What started as what we understood were 2 claims became 50 almost overnight. And for that reason, I adjourned that arbitration as a cost savings measure. I would have loved to do the work, and I started digging into it, but when it came time and the date for reappointment became clear, and then it got moved again, fiscally, it didn't make sense for me to start that endeavor and hope that the work I did would benefit another attorney who either might see it a different way or was going to redo the work on the right.
Thank you for explaining it, because we just kept hearing that you wasn't showing up, so now you had the opportunity to explain to us why, and I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all. If I'm not brought back, it's been a pleasure. I really have enjoyed working with the district, and it is a place where I have spent many, many, many years of my my legal practice with members of this community, some of whom are even here tonight. So it's been my pleasure, and I thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Parker McKay.
Hello again, thank you for your time. I will be brief again. The key here is I have litigated everything from the small grievance arbitration in our boardrooms all the way up to the New Jersey and United States Supreme Court when it comes to labor and employment matters. I've negotiated agreements from our public workers all the way up to our teachers and administrators. I'm an expert in labor and employment matters, having studied this not only in college but at Cornell University's labor law school. But the key aspect that I bring is not only being able to litigate and fight voraciously when it comes to labor and employment matters, but to be proactive before they even happen. A 10-minute phone call from an administrator to prevent a mistake from happening will save you thousands in the long run. After all, dollars count. And the key here is I would much rather have that administrator give me the question about the FMLA or NJFLA. Give me that question about the interactive process. Tell me, how do you see this contract language? Can I pick your brain about how I'm going to adjudicate that contract language? And just having that open door, being able to solve that problem 10, 15 minutes at a time saves us from having to go through the grievance arbitration process, saves us from having to have that complaint and go through nasty and expensive litigation. I look forward to working with you if you choose me to be your labor and employment specialist, and I'll answer any questions you might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We can now hear from Skorinsky and Hollenbeck. Not here. Taylor Lawgren.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, Madam Superintendent, and administration. I'm Lester Taylor of Taylor Law Group. By way of background, I started Taylor Law Group on October 1st, 2023, about 2.5 years ago. We say we are a new firm with decades of experience. By way of background, I've been practicing law for about 25 years. Before starting my firm, I was with a firm founded by a former governor for about 16 years, where I was an owner and equity partner at that law firm. I decided to venture out on my own. We started with 4 lawyers about 2 years ago again, and we're up to 15 lawyers now. We represent several school districts across the state of New Jersey, from Bergen County all the way down to Camden County and everywhere in between, as general counsel, special education counsel, labor and employment, litigation, etc. So we are a full-service law firm. If I may step back for a moment, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you for the honor and opportunity to present to you here this evening. I had the opportunity to represent Pleasantville Public Schools on various occasions in the past, so it's good to see various members of the community, board members, familiar faces, etc. So again, with respect to our capacity, we have approximately 15 lawyers that are capable of servicing your legal needs. We have the expertise in education law in particular, in serving the various capacities with various school districts. I'll say of pertinent relevance from my experience was a recent case that I handled up to and before the New Jersey Supreme Court. It was a Mata San Juan versus the West New York for education. It was a case that set a precedent in the law in the state of New Jersey establishing and codifying the arbitrator's authority and fashioning a remedy in a labor arbitration dispute. Another labor matter, which was also a pretty novel issue at the time, was about a decade or so ago, where I represented the Jersey City School District when their union were in negotiations with the teachers union. They actually went on strike. At that time, it was the first strike in the state of New Jersey in over 25 years. Based upon our representation, our preparation with respect to the entire process that was months in the making, because we kind of anticipated that this labor action may occur, we were prepared with the advice and authority of our client to prepare an order to show cause before they even went on strike, so that when they did, coincidentally on payday, once their direct deposit hit, they went on strike. We filed our order to show cause at 9 a.m. We report by 2 p.m. with an order directing the teachers back to work. So those are just some of the experiences that we have with respect to zealous advocacy, being very proactive, being aggressive, but also being cognizant of your role as elected officials in your community and representatives of the taxpayer dollars. I can't say that I was a school board member, but I'm married to a former school board member. And I also had the pleasure of serving as mayor of the city of living in East Orange, New Jersey. So I kind of understand from a firsthand account the passion, the commitment, the time that it takes to serve your community, serve the public. In many respects, it's a thankless job, as I'm sure you all know. People publicly shame you and privately praise you. So it's something that I have a better sense of how to empathize with you when you're making tough decisions, sometimes at each other's necks, but also try to help you, the sense of clarity and experience, be able to get through those moments so that you can vote your conscience, but also do so with information in advance, information that is objective and accurate so that you can, again, make the decisions that are in the best interest of your taxpayer dollars and the students and community that you serve. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I'll also say not only is our firm a minority-owned firm, obviously, but we also are a very diverse firm with women and minorities in partnership as well as leadership positions in our firm. We are proud to say we reflect the communities that we serve, and without communities like Pleasantville, we wouldn't be in business. So we look forward to the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
I have a question. I sit here and I listen to the things you say, how your firm has grown over 2 years. Why didn't you apply for board attorney?
To be quite honest with you, I wasn't sure if you were satisfied with the current council you had, but we did take great measures in our package. We do cover all of our facets, general counsel, labor, employment, etc. We're happy to be considered for any position that you offer. I mean, obviously, this is an RFP process, so it's kind of, you have a lot of discretion with what you do. But I'm looking at Mr. Page right here, quite frankly, some other board member out there. I represented this board before, and I know that sometimes you might have been happy with who you had, so I figured I would just go in where the opening was with labor council. But if you're looking for other things, I'm happy to consider that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I said that name at my own risk, quite frankly, because I know some of y'all might not like it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you. You're welcome.
That's okay, that's for labor.
Can I get a motion for board attorneys?
I'm sorry, please elaborate. Motion for
You guys.
So,
Who do you want to appoint? Do you have an idea, or?
do you want to, we doing a public, or do we just go off the chart? We're not scoring off the chart?
How do you want to proceed?
Well, the board, everyone reviewed the proposals. This was just for the presentation. So do you know who you want as a board solicitor? We can't discuss it in executive session. Well, that's what you're supposed to select it based on who you want for your board solicitor and your labor attorney.
We're under the assumption that we fill out the sheets, you tally them up, and
Okay,
you say who won.
tally them up, okay.
But also because you rescinded, we don't have a sheet for you at all. So
Do you have a public
we don't
journal?
have a sheet.
Yeah, Jenna, he sent it her, so I didn't.
Can you get her, sheet?
Please get a copy. Try to get a copy.
Ms. White is going to take our sheets and tally them, and then she will get back to the one we chose, so we don't take up too much time. Public comments. We ask you to come to speak. We can't speak on personnel matters. We ask you to come to speak courteously and respectful. We have Jonathan Diego.
The only thing I wanted to address and inquire from the board, and again, thank you for the opportunity to speak again, address this body. I had brought up on a previous board meeting the possibility of the school district recognizing Three Kings Day as a day where students should have that day off in order to spend time with family, friends, and recognize the importance of the day and the cultural. I guess what I'm asking is the board to be concerned about the cultural background of our school district, which is over 70% Latino, and the reality that many of our students in the school district and their families would like to have time together during that time of year. The school district does provide days off for other groups or individuals with other backgrounds, and I think it would be prudent and proper that the school district actually put it up for a vote. So not only in the hopes of passing a resolution calling for that day off each year, but also so the public knows where the board members stand regarding the people that they serve, the vast majority of which are Latino students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diego. Next, we have Ms. Kathy Barton from the PEA.
Before Ms. Watson gets started, I think it's the easy fix, so make a motion that we acknowledge Three Kings Day.
Okay. Any questions? Roll call, Ms. White. Ms. Silver, second. Ms. Silver. What day does that fall on? Okay. Gotta include that in the calendar. Yes. Make sure you put it on the calendar. Roll call, Ms. White.
Ms. Akins? Ms. Akins? Three Kings Day, they did a motion to celebrate Three Kings Day on January the 6th.
Okay. Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Do you have the calendar? just trying to see.
I don't have the calendar, but it's January.
It's still yes, but I just wanted to see something, but go ahead.
You said yes.
Yes.
Ms. Morgan? Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver?
Yes.
Ms. Roel?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Watson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm the president of the union so I represent the teachers, the custodians, security, maintenance, nurses, study, secretaries, all of them, everybody, almost everybody, except for the kitchen help and the transportation. So there's been recently there's been a lot of part-time people being hired, and in order for me to help our people, we need to hire a lot more security guards, especially security guards, full-time custodians. There's been a lot of part-time custodians being hired recently, and we need full-time people because then we get healthcare. Our ESPs, educational support professionals, are people who usually live in Pleasantville, and they are members of our community. So we want to make sure that they have healthcare and full benefits and full-time work. And then I'm sure that they will do a much better job and clean better and show up on time and just be more responsible, because it's not just going to be like a part-time gig, it's going to be like their actual job. People want an actual job, especially nowadays. And then like right now we have like hardly security in the high school and the middle school. We need more. And we have this new system in place that checks the students' passes. And they have to, so the security guards are now like bathroom monitors. So they just sit there, some of them have to sit there and check the kids' passes. So when there's a fight in the high school, if you have 4 or 5 people in the building of 1,000 children, and a couple of them are standing there checking the kids' passes, who's going to go down and break up the fight? So we need to hire some more security guards. It's definitely important. There's 1,000 kids in this building, almost 1,000 in the middle school, and there's like 4 or 5 security guards. And several of them are sitting there looking at passes and all that. So it's not something that, it's significant. It's important. And then the other question that I had was I've been told by a couple of people that Mr. Gibson is now on the city council. So I don't understand how that works. If he's on the city council and he was sworn in last night, is he going to be on the board? You can't do both, like, is he going to give his resignation? Like, I don't know how it works. I'm just told that, but I don't know.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Watson.
To the Board of Education and to the community, I'd like to just share that first, we have an amazing student population. Our high school students are amazing. Our middle school students are equally amazing. We have 4 elementary schools, amazing kids. As a matter of fact, since the word Friday came up, it was recently won in a span of probably over 60 days. So I'd like to commend our students for adhering to the code of conduct. This administration has worked diligently to address our code of conduct, particularly for 6th through 12th grade, very much focused on restorative practices. And so in the last 2.5 years. What we do know is that incidents involving any type of aggression or fight has de-escalated. It has decreased. And this administration and teachers and school leaders are focused on making sure that our students are engaged in the classroom and that they are not sent out of schools for unnecessary reasons. I'd like to also state that one of the things that ensures that our students are thriving is that they stay engaged. So the fact of the matter is that the high school has an allocation of 11 security officers. The middle school has an allocation of 9 security officers. I am not a proponent of building a pipeline to jail. I'm a proponent of having students have the opportunity to have access to high-quality education with teachers, our teachers, who for the most part are amazing teachers, are engaging students. And so I'd like to just make sure that the facts are understood. Our students are indeed great kids. The data shows that misconduct, particularly fighting, has decreased in the Pleasantville public schools, and we have kids that are adhering to the code of conduct. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Next, we have Mr. Johnson.
No further comment at this time, I appreciate it.
All right. Next, we have David Calloway.
Good evening. What I came to discuss this evening, I decided to leave it alone. And I just want you to know, I will be back. It's not going to be nice. I'll tell you that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Board comments. Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, do you have anything to say?
Just want to thank everyone for showing up. Please keep showing up, offering your comments, your questions. It is not only a duty, it is a right to keep pushing, to keep asking questions. It's going to make this school district better for all. So thank you for showing up, for taking the time. Please keep showing up. Please keep supporting our students. And we will see you at the next board meeting. Thank you.
Ms. Sanchez.
I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out, showing up, keep showing up, bring numbers out, hold us accountable. Whether you personally know us or you know us strictly from here, no matter what we do, hold us accountable. Thank you.
Ms. Akins.
Thank you everyone for coming out. Please continue to come, show your support, bring your comments, and you guys can say anything.
No comment.
Ms. Morgan. I want to thank everyone for coming out, with those who came to the microphone and spoke. We appreciate your comments and your concerns. Just ask, for people just to be a little bit respectful. We don't get paid to be here. We're here for our passion and trying to do better this board, make this board a better board than previous boards, and try to get along and do things collectively together, making decisions. We agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we're going to try to do the right thing that's going to be for our staff and our students.
Thank you everyone for coming out. Our job is not an easy one. We have tough choices, tough decisions to make. But if we could only keep in mind that we do it on behalf of our children, we will make the right decision. Thank everyone for coming out, and we appreciate you. We are hearing you. We are listening. Please continue to voice your opinion. We will take it into consideration. Have a great night.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes, I forgot to mention I was still trying to do my paperwork and think at the same time. I want to personally thank Dr. Martinez on the behalf of our Muslim community for observing our Ramadan month. We all appreciate you for allowing everyone, especially the students, to participate. I hear from a lot of students, they text me like, about to go pray. So that means a lot. And our board has turned around a lot, to do that. So I wanted to personally thank you for that, as well as the board for approving it as well. So a lot of that goes with the board because we all work together for the right reasons and allowing them to take the food home, if they pray. So that means a lot to us. So I just wanted to speak on the behalf of the Muslim community that we strongly appreciate you for allowing this to happen. And thank you. And may Allah, which means God, reward you abundantly with good in your endeavors. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to the Board of Education, just want to emphasize that in my administration, it is about all students, regardless of who they are. They all matter, and I hope that it continues to be a district where students are made first.
I would just like to thank everyone for coming out. My colleagues have said it all. Just want to, they said it all. I just have no comment right now. Sometimes you don't have words to say, so I don't like to make up things that I don't have anything to say, but I believe my colleagues up here have said it all, and it took me a little bit of everything and said it for me. So we will see you again. March the 17th is our next meeting. Until then, stay safe, healthy, and keep warm. One moment, I think we're ready for the,
We'll do the motion for the two who had the majority.
Okay.
So for labor, Taylor Law Firms, you do the motion for Taylor Law Firm and then do
motion.
Second. Wait, sorry, I didn't hear nobody say second. Who said it?
I thought motion should at the same time, so it don't matter. Motion second.
Second.
Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Roel?
No.
Motion carries.
Congratulations. We look forward to working with you.
For Board Attorney, Bush Law Firm, motion.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, Ms. White.
Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
No.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Roel?
No.
Hunt?
May I have a motion for Hunt Human Ability? We need another motion for that? Okay, and may I have a motion for, Hunt Hammond ability for our board attorneys? Board of Labor.
This is for board attorney.
Oh, for board attorneys, I'm sorry. May I have a motion for Hunt Hammond,
Hunt Hammond and Rayleigh.
Sorry. Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Rodriguez, may I have a second? Second by Ms. Silver. Questions?
Yes, another question. How are we voting if he wasn't here to apply? Shouldn't it be the second runner-up?
He wasn't able to be.
I understand that, but we have people that's here. So shouldn't it be, if we didn't agree on the first, whoever the first runner-up was, shouldn't we pick who on the second? How are we gonna vote for someone who wasn't here, who didn't do a presentation? How are we doing that?
What was your question, Mrs. Akins?
Whoever is the runner-up should be the next person.
Board attorney, it was Mr. Hammond. It was Bush.
No, whoever we just voted on, it was split. So the next runner-up should be the next person. Because how are we gonna vote on something?
Well, Jenna didn't apply for.
No.
Labor.
We just tallied up numbers, right? It was even. So whoever's the second runner-up with the second score, highest score, should be the next person. How are we voting for someone who's not here, who didn't give us a presentation?
Well, he didn't give us a presentation, he submitted a proposal, but it's the board's decision.
I understand that, but we should give a shot. Yeah, we should
He
give
was
the next
able to be
person
here, but he
who's
didn't
here.
present his presentation.
It doesn't matter, whoever's here.
He did present his presentation, but he came in to read them.
What did he give? Because the majority was Bush and Hunt, so the other for Parker McKay.
Well, how are we voting for Hunt if he's not here? That's why I don't
Because
understand.
they scored him high on their actual evaluation, even though he wasn't here. There was scores for Hunt, even though he was not here.
So we're scoring based off of what?
We're scoring based off of you, looking at the coming in and looking at the RFPs. When you come in, before we get here, what you do is you go and you look at the RFPs and you review the RFPs, and then you determine which one you would like. So we just did a courtesy by having them come out to interview, but when you actually review the RFPs, when you go into Ms. White's office, that's how you look through them and see that what you're looking for. And that's how you basically score them. It should have really been scored before we got here, but we did.
Well, we should have had an explanation because
Yeah, Ms. White should have told you when you looked at those RFPs, when you went into her office, that you were supposed to score each one, each category, when you looked at it.
We didn't get that.
Who you voted for, you have to, on your scoring sheet, you needed to vote for that person when you did the voting, when we called the roll call.
Ain't that what we're doing?
Because Bush had more votes, but everyone didn't vote for him when he went around for roll call.
Okay, so now what's the second go round?
I don't understand, you said you want to do another vote for Bush? Because some people voted for Bush but did not, on their scoring sheet, but they did not vote for Bush. Whoever you voted for, you should have voted for them and made sure you, on roll call, you voted for them only. And not
On paper, they said yes.
So on paper, if
on the paper, you said.
when it came time to vote, you said no, I'm still moving on to the next person.
Yeah, so it should be next. You want to do another roll call, make sure about it.
Right, so if you voted for Bush, if that's who you wanted for your board solicitor, you needed to vote for him when we did roll call for Bush. And if you wanted Hunt Hamlin for your board solicitor, you should have voted for him when we did roll call for Hunt Hamlin. I mean, if you want to do it again, whatever you documented, you have to vote for.
So she said, whoever you document is be here to vote. So, everybody understood?
Or if you want to go through the solicitor list and just vote,
We'll redo it.
Sounds good to everyone? We vote for Bush and we vote for Hamlin, or we vote for all four solicitors? The top two. Okay, top two was, Bush was number one and Hamlin was number two. Okay. We could go with that one. Whatever we vote, you need to select, but we need 5 votes to select the solicitor. Gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and do the motion again, Ms. White. Okay, this is board attorney, and this is for the company, the Bush Law Group. May I have a motion? Motion. Motion by Ms. Morgan. May I have a second? Second by Ms. Silver. Questions? No questions? Roll call, Ms. White. Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Just Bush.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Rowell? No. Motion carries. We're good? This is for Board General Counsel. Congratulations. Who is this? Bush. Congratulations. What's for Board Attorney, and Taylor Law Group is for Labor Attorney. Okay. Congratulations to Bush and the Taylor Law Firm. Dear board members, I'm writing to formally resign from my position as a member of the Pleasantville School Board effective immediately. Serving on the board has been an invaluable experience, and I deeply appreciate the opportunity to contribute to the education and well-being of student community. I am proud of the progress we have made together. I want to express my gratitude to my fellow board members, the school staff, and the community for their support and collaboration during my tenure. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Martin Kitson. Motion. May I have a motion to accept the resignation? Who? Which one? You motion? Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sanchez. Roll call. All in favor? Aye. Roll call. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. Roll call, Ms. White. Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Rowell? Yes. Motion carries. One more motion, I'm sorry. May I have put a motion on the floor to advertise for vacancy?
Motion.
To advertise for vacancy. Motion. Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Ms. Sanchez. Any questions? Yes, when are we advertising for? Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, and we will do the interviews on March 17th. Next board meeting is no, we're gonna have a meeting. That's not a meeting. Yeah, so we'll do it March 17th. Ms. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Waters? Ms. Silver? Ms. Rowell? Yes. Motion carries. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Sanchez, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by everybody. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Good night.